Hey guys, it's Friday night and I thought I'd do a reading vlog this weekend because I probably will get through, fingers crossed, a couple of books, so I figured I'd give that a go. And I'll start off by showing you what I'm going to be reading this weekend. So I am currently on page 555 of A Conjuring of Light by V.E. Schwab. There are 666 pages in this book, so I have 111 pages left. I'm hoping that I'll be able to finish that tonight and possibly move on to Scythe by Neil Shusterman, which is going to be my next read. I'm definitely going to finish this tonight. I am determined. Hopefully I'll be able to start Scythe tonight as well, but if not, I'll be starting Scythe tomorrow. I don't yet have Thunderhead, which is the next book in this series, but I'm going to see how I get on with The Conjuring of Light tonight, and then I may order Thunderhead on Prime to come tomorrow. There are 441 pages in Scythe, and I usually only read about 200 pages a day at the weekend, but I might just order Thunderhead even, just in case. Okay, I've just set you down so I can speak to you about these books. This isn't the best angle, but my hands are a little shaky, so I wanted to spare you from the dodgy, shaky camera work. So like I was saying, I'm going to finish A Conjuring of Light first this evening, and I've only got 111 pages left, so I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that I will finish this one tonight. I am a very slow reader, but I am pretty determined. It's taken me quite a long time to get through this book, which by the time you're watching this, you'll have heard all about that. But life has just kind of got in the way, and I'm kind of, even though it's a good book and I am enjoying it, I'm kind of getting a bit bored of the story now. I usually read books much more quickly than this, not because I'm a quick reader, but because I just read a lot. But this is the last book, excuse me, this is the last book in the Shades of Magic trilogy by V.E. Schwab, which is set in a world where there are 4 parallel Londons. There's Grey London, which is in our world, and where there is no magic anymore. There is Red London, where magic is flourishing and it's a wonderful place to live. White London, where magic has turned bad and is consuming the world, and Black London, where magic has already consumed the land. I can't really tell you what this book is about because there would be spoilers for books 1 and 2 of the trilogy, but I can say that it follows a character named Kel, who is introduced in the first book, who is an Antari, which is a type of magician, a blood magician, who is able to travel between the parallel Londons. And he and his powers are introduced very early on in the trilogy, so he's one of the main characters of the trilogy. So hopefully I will finish that one tonight, in which case I will be moving on to Scythe. Now, if I don't finish A Conjuring of Light tonight in time to start Scythe, then I will be starting Scythe tomorrow. And I don't have much planned this weekend. Lee, my boyfriend, is working, so I'm pretty much just going to be reading the whole weekend. I am popping out for a few hours tomorrow, Saturday, but I'll be reading in the evening, which is when I get most of my reading done at the weekends anyway. So I should, fingers crossed, finish this book this weekend. And in an ideal world, I'll finish this book and start Thunderhead, which is the next book in the Arc of the Scythe trilogy. This one I discussed in my recent haul video, but just in case you didn't catch that, or if you want to, I'll link it. But shameless plug there, sorry. This one is set in a utopian future, in our world as far as I know, a utopian future where all forms of death have been eradicated, and so the only method of population control is the Scythes. And they are this group of individuals who can glean people, which is the only method by which people can now die. And my understanding is that there's quite a lot of politics that goes on around that, and this series follows a couple of apprentice Scythes who are learning their new role and navigating the politics of the would-be underworld, I suppose, although it doesn't really seem that, I suppose traditionally a Scythe would be death, which would be considered as an antagonist, but I think that in this trilogy they are the protagonists and they're like respected, or feared but respected. I don't know yet. I guess I can update you on that. Don't worry, there won't be any spoilers in this video, but those are my reading plans for the weekend, and I'm gonna take you along for the ride. Right, I've just taken off my makeup and got into my PJs and put my hair up, so I am getting ready to read. I'm actually starving and Lee's not getting home tonight until about maybe 8 p.m, so I'm gonna have a snack, and I'm probably gonna have something I shouldn't, but I went to a Portuguese supermarket here in London yesterday with my family. It's run by one of my dad's best friends, and I thought I'd show you what I picked up, just in case you're interested. If not, feel free to skip ahead. So I got a couple of big boxes of Nestum, which is like this Portuguese, I'm half Portuguese by the way, in case you were confused. It's this like baby cereal, but it's kind of, I suppose it's kind of like porridge or overnight oats, but super, super sweet and a bit more smooth. I may eat this at some point over this weekend, so if I do, I will show you so you can see what it's like. But basically, I love it. It's delicious. I also got some Choco Pick, which is another kind of cereal, and I suppose it's kind of like Choco Balls, but better, frankly. I love these as well. What else? Got these crisps, which are just like French fries but thinner. You're actually supposed to use these to make this fish dish, but I just like to eat them. And then there are these lemon biscuits, which are kind of cake-like. Some sardine pate, some tuna pate, and my snack of choice for right now, these biscuits, which, I mean, realistically, they're just sugar, but that's cool with me. So I'm going to snack on these and get to reading, and I'll check in with you in a bit. Hi guys, so I just had dinner, and then I finished A Conjuring of Light. Yeah, I have mixed feelings about this one. Like I said before, it's taken me a long time to get through this book, not because of the book, but because of stuff going on personally. Which it's ironic actually, because I found books 1 and 2 of the series really slow paced, whereas this one is really fast paced, but it took me a lot longer to read this. Usually I'd read a book of this length in maximum of a week, and I think I've been reading it for 2, possibly even 2.5 weeks. So I was just getting a little bit bored of being in this world and was keen to move on to Scythe, which, as I said, is going to be next. So far I've given this one a 4 out of 5 stars, although my views on that might change. I also don't know how I feel about star ratings. I'm still kind of undecided about the whole thing, because often it's not very often that I read books that aren't well written. So I generally base my star ratings off of enjoyment purely. But I don't know if that's necessarily fair to the authors. So I'm in two minds about the star rating thing, but suffice it to say, I like this one better than books 1 and 2, but you know, my views on it were slightly tarnished by the fact that it just took me so long to read, and that's not the book's fault, so I'm trying not to let that impact upon my final views about the book. It is very fast paced, start to finish. It goes like the clappers for the whole time. It didn't necessarily go in the direction I was expecting. Not that I was expecting any particular plot line to happen. I try not to think too much about where books are going and try to preempt what's going to happen. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like while I was reading it, there was nothing predictable about it, which is a good thing. But at the same time, there was nothing like super. It's not a thriller, so there's not like twists and turns at every stage. But yeah, I don't know. There were just some elements of the plot that I was like, oh, I wasn't expecting that kind of thing to happen. So I guess that's good. The ending was good. As I said, the pace was good throughout this one. Yeah. Unfortunately, I do think that the series has fallen a little bit to the hype, because I've heard so many people on BookTube say so many great things about this series that it really had a lot to live up to. And it's good, and I did enjoy it, but I don't know that it necessarily did live up to all of that hype. Which it's a shame that I'm saying that, because under ordinary circumstances, I would probably be raving about this book and going, it's really clever, the premise is really interesting, it's really well written, the characters are really fleshed out, especially by the end of this book. The magic system is very clever, the world is very interesting. So there's not a lot to dislike about this particular book, and I personally liked the ending. Some people might not. I know some people are really particular about how they like their books to end, but I enjoyed the ending of it, and I liked that there was some closure at the end of the book, because sometimes you get to the end of the series and an author will leave certain things open to allow them to do further books in the world if they want to, and V.E. Schwab certainly could do more books in this world if she wanted to. It's not so closed that that's like not a possibility, but it's closed enough that things feel finished, which I like. So yeah, I did enjoy this book. Definitely not 5 stars for me, I'm afraid, but I did enjoy it. Next, I'm going to be reading Scythe, which I am super excited about, and I'm really, really hoping that this one's not going to fall to the hype. I'm a little bit worried about that, because generally I have a bit of a weird relationship with dystopian books. So I really, really, really enjoy them, like The Hunger Games and the Divergent series. I really, really enjoyed them. But the endings I struggle with. So, but this one is utopian, not dystopian, so I'm not sure what kind of impact that's going to have on the overall feel of the book. And also, I haven't got an ending to read, even if I pick up Thunderhead. It's not the last. I think a lot of people originally thought that it was going to be a duology, but it isn't. The next book hasn't come out yet, but it has a working title, which I think is The Toll. But I don't know even if that's the last book. I don't know if it's set to be a trilogy or a series. I've checked online and I can't find anything about that, not on Neil Shusterman's website or on the publisher Simon & Schuster. Their website doesn't say either, so yeah, there's no ending for me to deal with yet, which is fine. But yeah, I'm going to be interested to see where that one goes. I'm going to take a break from reading now because I ate way too much dinner and I'm feeling quite bloated and I need to just like mong out on the sofa and not really concentrate too much. So I'm going to watch an episode of Making a Murderer and then I'm going to pick up Scythe and I'll let you know how I get on. Hey guys, so I've started Scythe. I'm speaking quietly because Lee's gone to bed. I've only read about 40 pages so far, but it's really good. I'm really enjoying it. It's interesting and a little bit funny actually so far, which I wasn't expecting. But it's 11 PM now, so I am going to go to bed and I'll pick this back up again in the morning. Night guys. Good morning guys, it's Saturday. I've got up and got ready because I'm going to be going out shortly. I just want to do some filming before I leave, which means I'm probably not going to get any reading done this morning, but I will be able to read while I'm travelling, and of course I'm going to be reading Scythe. I did just want to mention, I forgot to say that I'm also currently reading The Northern Lights by Philip Pullman on audiobook. I started it yesterday and I'm just over an hour into the audiobook, which I think is around somewhere like 40 pages or so. It was on sale for like £3 on Audible and I haven't read it for a very long time, so I figured that I'd pick it up. And also it's narrated by Philip Pullman with a full cast of characters, and I really like full cast audiobooks, and I especially like audiobooks that are read by the person that wrote them. So yeah, I'm really enjoying that. It's really interesting to hear his story from him, and I guess I'll keep you posted on that one as well, but I probably won't be reading as much of that as of Scythe. I tend to take a lot longer to read audiobooks. I'll read them in the background between other books. But that's where I'm at with that, and I will check in with you again later. Good evening guys, it's now Saturday night. I am bundled up in my dressing gown because it's actually quite chilly today and I've spent most of the day outside, so I'm quite cold, but I am reading. I'm on page 85 and it's really, really good so far. It's actually still funny, which I really wasn't expecting, and it's really quite a clever concept, and it really makes you think about the aspects of humanity that people don't like death, and how important they actually are for things like population control. Yeah, I'm really, really enjoying it. It's a really quick read so far. I've mentioned before that I'm actually quite a slow reader, but I seem to be getting through it fairly quickly. I'm fairly sure that I will be able to finish this one this weekend. I may not be able to also start Thunderhead, but I would think that I'd be ready to start Thunderhead on Monday morning at least, so I am probably going to order that tonight so that it can arrive tomorrow by Prime. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. Lee isn't going to be home until 8 again this evening, so I'll be having dinner a little bit later in the evening than usual. So I might have a snack in a short while, and I think I'm going to do pasta bake for dinner. That sounds good. Anyway, not much more to report for now, so I'll check in again later. Hi guys, just put the pasta bake in the oven. Yes, I'm still reading Scythe. It's so good. I had to force myself to put it down because I had a few bits and pieces that I need to do, like putting the dinner on, but it's the mark of a good book when you struggle to put it down to do the tasks that you need to do. So yeah, I am really, really enjoying it. It is so gripping. It's a really, really easy read. It's written very, very simply. so you can just breeze right through it. Like I've said many times in this vlog, I'm usually a really slow reader, and I'm getting through this book so much more quickly than I usually get through books. So yeah, it's really gripping, really difficult to put down, which is a really good thing. I'm really enjoying it. So far, I'm only like what, 100 and I don't even know how many pages in I am. 113 pages in, so I'm not that far into the book, but I would already really recommend it. It's top notch. Like I said, I've just put dinner on. That'll take about 45 minutes, so I'm going to read for a bit longer and then have dinner and watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine with Lee, and after that I'm going to read some more. Although I probably will watch a little bit of YouTube as well, but main priority is reading. I want to get ideally to page 200 tonight, because I'll have more time to read tomorrow because I'm not going out, so I'm not too worried if I don't read half today. But to be honest, I'm getting through it so quickly, it's entirely possible that I will do. But yeah, it's really good. It's so good. I'm loving it. Oh my god, I just read the end of chapter 14 and what? Oh man, it's so good. This book it keeps getting better, and I don't know what to say about what I've just read. Oh my lord. Man. Holy moly. Okay, I've literally only read another 20 pages and another massive bomb has been dropped. This book is incredible. I'm stunned. I don't know what to say. I'll get back to you. Good morning, guys. It is now Sunday. Sorry about the lighting. I don't know if it's picking up on camera, but it's a really gloomy day here in London. It's been raining. Bit grim, but it's okay because I'm not planning on going out today. I am planning on reading. I have some filming I want to do and some editing I want to do because it's Sunday and I haven't got a video to put up yet. So there will be a video going up at 5 PM today, which by the time you watch this you will have already seen that. I'm hoping that this video will go up on Wednesday at 5 PM. If I can get it edited in time. I've got a bit of a crazy work week coming up, but for now I am going to have breakfast. Hello! So I've done all my filming. I have edited my video and it's exported and I'm uploading it to YouTube now. So, and I've just had lunch, so I'm finally getting back to reading and I'm so excited. So I'm going to check in with you again later. So I haven't done a check-in for a while, so I thought I probably should. I'm now on page 373. Oh, sorry. Page 373. So I've got like 70 pages left and it's still a really good book, and it's not quite going in any of the directions that I thought it was going to go, but it's still just, it's so good. It's really good. I also did just get an Amazon delivery, so I thought I'd show you that. I haven't unboxed it because they were just in those sleeves that they come in, you know. So first of all, unsurprisingly, I've picked up Thunderhead. I've checked and this one is slightly more pages. I think this is like 540-ish pages. It's only 100 pages longer. So I'm hoping that I'll either be able to pick this up tonight, or if not, I'll definitely be picking it up tomorrow. And I'll probably finish it by I mean, the competitive part of me would like to finish it by Wednesday, because Wednesday is the last day of October, and I'd like to finish it in October. But if not, it's not going to take me that long. The other thing I got was this planner, which I'm just going to flip you around to show you the inside of. So I wanted to get a planner so that I can keep track of the videos and things that I'm doing. And this is just, you can't really tell in this shot, but it's like, it's A5 size, so it's about the size of a book, really. And it's only thin, but because it's October, I didn't want to buy a diary that was then going to be pretty much useless because most of the months have already passed. So I actually got this one that's blank. So you've got like blank month pages, and then you've got some notes pages at the back, and then you've got these pages which I think you can use. I think they're day per view. I'm actually not 100% sure. I need to double check the description on the Amazon page that I bought them from, but I just really like the idea of being able to start this whenever, so I can just start as of, I can label this November and just have it starting from tomorrow and move across. And I really like the colour. I don't know if I said that already. It's, you know, it's nothing special, but hopefully it will help me organise my life. But now, I sound like a bit of a stuck record, I know, but I'm just loving Scythe and I really want to see how it ends, so I'm going to get back to it. Okay, so I have just finished Scythe and I'm speechless, honestly. So good. So good. I think I'm probably going to do a separate review video about this book. I'm going to pick up Thunderhead next, and depending how I get on with it, I might... It depends on how much I have to say about each book individually, because it might be that I just do a joint review of the two books, but it's one of those books, one of those very rare books that has you hooked from the very, very first line, that you're just constantly wanting to flip the pages. It's been a long time since I've read a book like that, where it's just been incredible from page one and unputdownable from page one. And honestly, it's a really, really good book. It's really well written. It's really easy to read. It's not dense at all, the writing style. There's definitely a writing style, like it's not a generic book. The author clearly has their own voice, but it's not dense at all. It's really easy to read. The characters are very engaging. The world is very engaging and intriguing. The plot is very, very fast paced from beginning to end. And I didn't know at any point where the story was going and at what point the book would end. But again, it's one of those books where there is finality. So even though there's another book, and even though you can quite clearly see that there's a lot of places for the story to carry on going, there's no like massive cliffhanger ending. There is some finality to the story, which I personally, I've mentioned this before, I really like that. I'm not a fan of cliffhangers. I like some closure at the end of a book. So I really, really enjoyed the ending, but there were so many twists and so many shock moments where I was like, no way, stuff that I just wasn't expecting. And that is partially my reading style. I do try not to think too hard while I'm reading about what might happen, because I like to be surprised by what does happen. But it's been a while since I've read a book where I was shocked multiple times throughout this read. I mean, I couldn't even tell you how many, but there were a lot of times where I was like, I just did not I mean, there were a few things that I did see coming and I kind of had predicted, just because, not because it was predictable, although some of them were a little tiny tad predictable, but more because I just didn't believe that certain things had happened, and I was like, no, there's more to this than that. It can't be that simple. It's a really, really clever book. It's a really well written book. The characters are incredible, and we go through a real roller coaster with our two protagonists, Rowan and Citra. And we're discovering the world with them, like I mentioned before, and yeah, it was so good. I would highly recommend it. It is getting on in Sunday evening now. It's about 8:45, so I'm probably going to think about going to bed soon because I have to be up at 6 a.m. for work, but I am going to pick up Thunderhead and try and read maybe a chapter or two before I go to bed. So good. So good. Hey guys, just doing a final check-in on this vlog. I have started Thunderhead, but I haven't got very far in. I had a few bits and pieces that I needed to do around the house before going to bed, and I am now going to bed. It's 10:30, so I'm going to be up at 6. I feel like I've had a really great reading weekend this weekend. I've read somewhere in the region of 550 pages, which is really good for me. That was including finishing Scythe and finishing A Conjuring of Light, and as well as all my reading, I managed to film, edit and upload a video. I went into town and went walking for like 3 or 4 hours, so really productive weekend. I hope that you found this interesting. If you want to see any more like this from me, then do click that subscribe button, and I'll put some videos here for you to check out as well. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!